Finally.
Mel,
Brandon,
great to see you.
great to see you too.
Who's the guy in the middle?
Some cat drug something in. What the hell's going on?
Glad to be here, guys. Appreciate the offer.
Oh, we got Jim Sybrant with us, special guest. Going to be here tonight to tell us a little about his bid for county commission seat, district number 3, right?
Yes, that's obviously why I'm here. The county commission is something that I've watched for several years and decided it was time for somebody to step up. I feel like economically in Cowley County, we're going to go through some real hard times this next year or two because of the virus. I'm convinced our doctors and scientists and everything are going to whip the virus. I'm not sure where we're heading economically, and it bothers me that some of the people that are on the commission are not business people and can't make the hard decisions.
And bringing people, for those of you who don't know, Jim Sybrant is a business cornerstone of Arc City and third generation Arc Cityan. He brings a lot to the table as far as the business sense, and when he makes comments about "I think I can help," he's bringing that from a business perspective, from a financial thought. As a business guy, he can make decisions, and we're missing that.
And you're right, Mel. And anybody that knows Jim, he does a lot of talking, and he'll tell you his opinion. Yep. But it wasn't until recently you had a great opportunity when we had a resignation at the City of Arkansas City, and there was an opening for a city commissioner, and you stepped in for a 4-month period and not only cut your teeth, but really showed some street cred. I mean,
well, I'd have to tell you, back up just a minute. The reason I stepped up was we were having trouble with the county commission over a bridge out in my neighborhood that I knew could be fixed much, much cheaper than they were throwing out to the public. I actually went to that commission meeting. There were 6 or 7 of us wanting that 4-month position.
Let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
The bridge he's talking about is Chestnut Street Bridge.
Yes.
Which had failed by state standards.
No. That's what the commission said. The road was washed out in front of the bridge. The bridge was never underwater. Never came within 5 feet of the water.
See, Mel,
but
more
to hear
fake
the commission,
news.
Yes, to hear the commission say it, the bridge was the problem. It wasn't. It was the road in front of the bridge. So, once I got on the commission, and that gave me the ability, first of all, back up a second, I called the DOT about a week, the Department of Transportation in Topeka, about a week before I got on the commission to ask them some questions about the bridge, the traffic counts.
Now you called the state because
Yes.
As a businessman, you're looking for.
As a neighbor, I was trying to get my road fixed. I wasn't trying.
But also, but you knew to look. You
Yes,
knew to look.
I was looking
Don't
for
listen to
help,
people
looking
telling
for
you.
sources, looking for ways to pay for it, looking for anything.
Actually, know for yourself.
I got
somebody's.
I got a
word
very
for it
nice
is
young
not.
lady in Topeka who was just as sweet as she could be, who basically told me it'd take her 2 or 3 weeks to get the information I needed. She didn't think I was going to have to file a
Freedom of
Information Act or anything. She thought she'd get it all to me, but give her 2 or 3 weeks. The next Friday, I was picked by the commissioners to serve on the commission, and the next Monday I called the same number, got a very nice young lady, won't say it was the same one. She directly gave me a input to their computer to all the information I was asking for, and every time I talked to somebody in Topeka as the city's commissioner, I got that kind of treatment. It's amazing the difference a title will do for you. I never changed a thing, don't even think I changed my shirt, but I got information I could not get until I had that title
Until
commissioner.
you were elected
It was
official.
amazing, yes.
Or an appointed official.
And I feel the same way about our county commission.
So
There's so many things.
Were you like drunk with power then? You all of a sudden.
Oh no, hell no! I
exerted
knew I
yourself?
knew it was only a
Hold on.
4-month sentence.
Hold on, this was a
Yes.
This was a $2 to $4 million project, and you should have told the line and paid that damn money.
And that was the whole thing. I didn't want to pay $2 to $4 million. The city of
What?
Ark City didn't want to pay $2 to $4 million.
How you going to be a
And there's no
bureaucrat?
reason to.
How are you gonna
I
be a bureaucrat?
honestly estimated, and I had Brian Wells, another neighbor there, who's in the business of doing some of this kind of work. He and I sat down and estimated we could do it for $60,000 to $80,000. I went armed with that and some of the reports that I had to the county commission at the city commission's approval, told them what I was going to do, went to the county commission. Well, that can't be done. You can't do this. You can't do that. I got nothing but our own county commissioners refused to listen. I asked them to come down and look at the road, that it was not the bridge. Well, we can't do that because that's an open meeting if more than 2 of us go together, so only one could go and we don't want to go. So I've run into so many obstacles.
So the end result was you got that bridge done for how much?
$36,000.
Which is
And I could not have done that without the road and bridge crew that did the work. They got done in 2 weeks. It took 8 months to get the county to go along with letting us do it. They did it in 2 weeks at a cost of $36,000.
Is that 1%?
I don't even think it's a percent.
That's 1% of 4
It's
million.
just nothing. It was. I could have got enough donations in the neighborhood to pay it.
So here's the deal, folks, and you know, known Jim a while, and Mel and Jim actually used to be kind of adversarial with each other.
Not adversarial. We like to kibitz. That's kibitzing when you argue about things.
Jim, I got to say, I mean, you really did with your short little term on there. I thought you did a hell of a job, and I appreciated you. And I thought you represented the city well. You came prepared. You came organized. You put in the time. And I think you'd be a fantastic county commissioner.
Well, he brought something to the table. One of the things he brought to the table is the ability to leave no stone unturned. He actually looked, did his research, did due diligence.
That goes back to my business. I will
things.
study the problem. I'll get the problem taken care of. I'll unturn or overturn a stone or two that maybe sees another problem, and I'll go straight to it. I like to be a problem solver. I like to be an idea person.
Well, I think about any successful businessman as a great problem solver. I mean,
you have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast.
Your day's full of problems and opportunities.
Facing the problems of a bureaucracy as a businessman, you got lots of hair now.
It's frustrating.
You
yes.
pull that
No, it
shit
is
out.
frustrating. Every time I went to the county commission, I was frustrated when I walked away. Because these are 3 nice guys. I don't have a bone to pick with any of them, but they just wouldn't make a business decision. Everything was, oh, we can't do that. I had an English teacher teach me the difference between can and can't and may not. And I can do anything I set my mind to. I may not be permitted to, but I can do it. So
here's the deal, folks. I mean, Jim Sybrant, well interested businessman and from Ark City, he proved himself. Not only professionally, but in his 4-month stint as a city commissioner. I thought you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You're going to find his name on the ballot if you live in Burden, Atlanta area.
If you live in District 3, my name will be on the ballot.
If
I'm not on there, don't worry about it.
But
okay, we saw what you did for the city. What do you think you can do for the county? You got any ideas of what you would like to do?
There are 2 bridges that need repaired right now. One of them they've asked for a grant to fix. They got turned down.
What's the cost projection for those?
I believe their grant projection was around $2 million, and they asked for an 80-20 match after they'd been told by myself and 2 or 3 other people that if they really wanted that grant, they would have to pony up a little more money than 20%. That's a new way the federal government's doing things. Federal government's no different than the city, the county, or anybody else. They don't have the money to send back to the states. But the politicians still want to be able to say, I sent 1,000 projects back to Kansas. So what they've done is said, if you want the 80-20 match, fine. If you really want it, add 10% to your portion. In other words, if we'd give 70% on that bridge, we'd go higher up the list and probably get fixed. We were turned down the first time, I believe in February. We've resubmitted the same, as I understand, it's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same amounts, and it's an 80-20 split.
Now this is
I predict today for the Hackney Bridge. I predict today we will not get it.
That bridge has been
and
out
we'll
for
hear
how
a
long?
story of, well, they ran out of money before they got to us, or whatever happened.
Perhaps they did, but as you said, if you don't put something at the top of the list,
if you realize they're going to run out before they get to 80-20, make it 75. I don't know where you quit.
Now this isn't. We're not playing politics here. That's an actual thing.
That's an actual figures. Those aren't my money figures. It's just a matter of the government's going to give out so much money. Some grants are 80-20, period.
Which everybody, as you alluded to, everybody's got their hand out, especially with the upcoming economic climate.
Yes. And with this pandemic, it was in the newspaper the other day, we're going to get $7 million. That's a grant for Cowley County. That is not a given. We don't have that money yet.
Was the matching grant?
No. It's projected to give us $7 million. To do it, and you've read it in the paper, they've got to set up a committee. They've got to decide how much money goes to. Now, that particular grant goes to schools. It goes to government entities such as cities and counties and
to facilities or
hospitals. It can be facilities. What it cannot be is for business. It cannot make up for losses But it can do a lot of, and I'm not that familiar with it.
They
Other
said
than
came
what I
in for
read in the
losses.
paper.
That's only is there as a stopgap anyway. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
losses.
So there's some. The problem is if you don't do it right, you're not going to get to 7 million. It's not a given we get 7 million. My suggestion was at a commission meeting is hire a professional grant writer, somebody that does this every day. They've got in their computers all they got to do is fill in the blanks, and they can almost get it.
Do we have those people in house already?
I don't think
For
we've got
instance,
anybody in
how
house.
many-
We just hired the new assistant superintendent, I'm going to call him, at the county. One of his duties is going to be grant writer.
Well, that
I
should
do
be-
not know the difference between a duty and knowledge of grants is two different things.
But the knowledge is it's a scripted thing. It's a fill in the blank thing.
No,
And
not if you don't know the rules, you fill in the
Well,
blanks
that's-
wrong.
Well, that
That's
could very
the
well be.
problem. That's what we're doing.
But
We
the-
keep filling in the blanks, but we don't learn the rules. I'm afraid.
Well, the
I
rules
don't-
are there for anybody to see. And
No,
it's
they're not. They're
All right.
in between layers. If you dealt with it every day, it's like plumbing.
Well, the
If
grants.
you do it every day, you pick up the right wrench.
That
If I
could
go
be.
to plumb something, I might come in with a screwdriver.
That,
I don't
that
know.
could be. When I was in that area before as a former city commissioner, it was apparent that once you understood the ins and outs of the grant writing, anybody could write one.
Well, I think there's some truth. Once you have that knowledge, it's kind of like computers. Computers are almost Greek to me. Now I can get into my business computer and get any information I want out of it, but I couldn't program a computer. I can't
and ours
change
is
a
built
lot of
for that.
things in it. So.
And okay, all those things are fine. So the idea you're going to go for more grant money. Now the stopgap you've got. What's your shortfall? 46,000 or something. The shortfall this year for the budgeting.
Oh no, they're almost $500,000 short of the budget.
Okay, they're $500,000 short of the budget
Yes.
from last year.
Yes, that's
And
projected
so-
based on sales tax that slipped because of the virus in the county and expenses that have gone up at the county. We've got a combination of both. It's a projected figure.
Yes, looking at your budget, everything has gone up. Some of them substantially.
Yes.
I don't know.
Insurance is one of the largest substantial.
Insurance is a big one. Now, on insurance, for instance, if this is something you feel that you can actually maybe do something about?
Well, I guess
Or-
insurance
I don't
is,
mean to get in the weeds on this.
No, in my business, insurance, in the truck line business, insurance is our second largest single cost.
Yep.
I spend about $150,000 a year on my trucks for insurance.
Yep.
I bid that every 3 years. I don't have a favorite agent. I do. I've liked every agent that's been, but I bid it based on my history, my truck line's loss experience. I've gotten pretty good breaks from what competitors of mine have told me they're getting.
Well,
Part of it you do yourself.
how does the
Health
county,
insurance, for example.
How does the county approach these things?
I don't know that. No, I
Okay.
really don't.
Well,
I can tell you. I can
I
tell you
know-
one
I
of the
know how they
problems.
do
They,
it. I know
well,
how they do
I
it,
know
too.
some of it, but I know one of the things they don't do that we did. We increased our deductible, and a lot of people say, "You did what?" We increased our deductible
Which
from
did-
$1,000 to $5,000
which decreased your premium.
by about $20,000 a year on the amount of insurance I've got.
So
I have to
you're
have
effectively self-insuring.
self-insuring the first $20,000,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, I've done it 3 years in a row now, and it's paid me $10,000 to $15,000 every year doing it. I think that's something you look at. I'm not saying I don't have all the answers yet. Don't even have all the questions yet. I've got to get in there and start stirring the pot. If I get elected, first of all, the truck driver joke is I'm semi-retiring at the end of the year. But I am. My son has taken over our business. I'm going to have time on my hands. I'm not one of these people gonna sit down or want to sit down. If I sit down, it will be in the county courthouse, in the administrator's office, the sheriff's office, wherever I think I can learn something office, and learn something from those people. I don't intend to run anything they're doing. I want to learn what their problems are. I want to learn what their suggestions are. And in tight times, I want to talk to them about, hey, if we have to make a cut, what can you do? What is left in your budget? You can't. Every one of us, if we had to, and we've all had to a few times in our lives, have made cuts we don't want to make, but we can do it. And I will give every department head we've got first choice. He can make the cuts. If he can't, I'll study the problem and I'll make them. And I think he'll make them every time and do a better job than I will.
So your budget's what, 13 million, something like that?
Something like that for the county.
And you're $500,000 short.
Yes.
So you're actually fairly close. You're not that far away.
And it's projected. So
And
it,
it's
I mean,
projected.
that's
So
the
it
other thing
could
that
be
bothers me.
fractionally, yes.
To answer your questions, is everything projected.
Absolutely.
They projected the bridge. It cost me $2 million. It cost me $36,000.
Good
Now, where
point.
do you go with these
Absolutely.
projections till you study them? So,
Absolutely.
I can't tie them down on it. Don't want to try to tie them down yet.
But even as good stewardship, even if the projections are not there or exceeded, good stewardship would say. Now we had a interesting conversation year before last when the last election cycle about if we don't charge more taxation or tax is going to go up. First thing we're going to do is everybody's going to be in danger because we're going to the police won't be able to get there, or the sheriff's won't be able to. It's
Now,
always the first.
This is what I said earlier. Is it seems like every time something comes up, it's the scare tactic.
That's right.
And I'm tired of the scare tactic. I want to get to the facts first and then present it to the public in a very basic manner that everybody can understand. There is, I don't know if you realize this, the county all but passed a sales tax in February. The county administrator told the 3 commissioners, wait a minute, don't do that. This is an election year. If you do it this year, they're liable to protest it, put it on the ballot, and some of you might not be reelected. So they decided to put it on hold until October. Guess what? The 2 commissioners that are going to be elected are going to be elected in August, in the primary. We will know all 3 commissioners. I promise you, if it's the same 3 commissioners, probably in September, October, you'll have a 1-cent sales tax.
So
that's wrong.
We got to wrap this up, guys.
Okay.
Jim.
Okay.
Jim, tell me again who you are, where you're going to be, what the election day is. What are we? August 5th.
August 5th, I believe, is a Tuesday, first Tuesday in August.
You see
It's the
Jim
election
Sybrant on
day.
there?
If you see the name Jim Sybrant on there, you're in my district. I'd appreciate your vote. If you're not in my district, I will appreciate you getting a hold of me with any suggestions you have if I'm elected. I represent everybody in the county once elected.
I will give this guy my seal of approval based on one thing and one thing only: his realistic concept of how money should be handled.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That
Jim,
means a lot to
thanks
me.
for coming on the show. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Anytime.
you.
I appreciate you having me.
Um,
I've heard a lot about Mell More. I watched it when the bridge thing was going on. You guys put some good stuff
I
on.
hope it helps.
Yeah, well,
Hey, either help you or hurt you, Jim. I can't
If it doesn't follow through,
can't hurt. I can
doesn't
hurt
have to be
myself
all
more
our
than you can
fault,
hurt me.
I mean,
So, okay.
Guys, have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Balakaja.